But I know more, it's still down. Okay. What happened to the list? Wait, I mean, that's gonna be the something.
Not my phone.
Okay.
Hello, ladies. ¿Cómo están? ¿Good?
Mr. Montalvo's contract service. Actually, gone through the savings.
Good evening and welcome to all those in attendance. This is a regular school board meeting. Today is Wednesday, February 11th.
Turn your mic on.
It was on.
Give it percent. There you go.
Sorry about that. Okay, once again, welcome to all those in attendance. Today is Wednesday, February 11th, 2026, 6 p.m. And I call this meeting to order. Would you please rise? Oh, forgot, Mr. Secretary, practice here. Will you please take roll before we do the pledge?
Go ahead and continue as you. Board President, lead us in the pledge, please.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I salute the flag of the state of New Mexico, as the symbol of friendship among the United cultures. Okay, Secretary Montes, if you will please call roll.
Please say aye upon request. Joaquin Legarreta,
Present.
Board Member Alba Garay,
Here.
Richard Marquez, President,
Present.
Vice President Ray Gonzalez,
Present.
Chris Montes, Secretary here.
Okay, thank you. We do have a quorum. Okay, item number 1, approval of the consent agenda. Members of the board, are there any items that you wish to be removed from the consent agenda and discussed individually?
Yes, I want to know why the evaluations were not put on the agenda.
No, but first, let's go ahead and do that then, if there is something, and then we can get to that. And the reason I don't have all the evaluations yet, I'm still missing one of them. So I am just specifically asking for item 1A, 1B, 1C, and 1D. Are there any items that you wish to be removed from the consent agenda and discussed individual? If not, I will entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda. I will take a voice vote. If you are in favor, all in favor say aye.
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 All opposed say
Aye.
no.
No.
Okay, 4-1. The approval of consent agenda is approved. Item number 2, superintendent report.
We have several recognitions that we're going to be doing tonight. We're going to start off with our Heart of the Bear Awards. And this is where we recognize students and or staff members and for the contributions that they have, special recognitions and that sort of thing. And so, Mr. Marcus, you have the pins there, and it's something that the board always presents to our people that are being recognized. The first person that I want to bring up and recognize is Miss Carrie Hernandez. Is Carrie here? And I want to recognize Carrie for an award that she received from the state level, PED, for a Lifetime Achievement Award. And where are you, Carrie? Oh, there you go. And so, Carrie, can you kind of just tell us a little bit about this award? And I don't have all the information, but I know that's a big deal to have a Lifetime Achievement Award. And as you know, Ms. Hernandez has been around and especially in the area of CTE for many, 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 many years, and both at the local level and at the state level. And so, Carrie?
Thank you. Thank you. President Marcus and the board. It is an honor to have gotten this award. I've been in career technical ed for over 25, 30 years. Actually started as a secretary in placement career services at New Mexico State University, getting my bachelor's and master's degree as a single mom. And I'm pretty excited about all this. It kind of blew us out of the water. Kim and I were at it's a state conference for career and technical ed. And so I truly believe that I wouldn't have gotten this award without having been part of the Bear family and the stuff that we've been doing over the last 3 years. And that was part of the reason why I have been in and out, working for the public education department and then working for Las Cruces Public Schools. But when I heard about some of the programs that are here in the Valley, it really resonated because I grew up on a farm and farming family and a ranching family. So with that, this means a lot, and I want to thank you all. So, yeah,
Thank
coming off my guard. So, can I shake your?
Yes, thank you.
Carrie.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't give everybody a hug, but can I hang in? I'm honored to be here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, the next person that we want to put on the spotlight is Miss Kim O'Byrne, who was also recognized at the state level for CTE Educator of the Year. Did I get that right?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right. Kim, tell us a little bit about this award and how it came to be.
Well, I really don't know how it came to be, but I feel very honored to be able to represent educators in the career technical education field. Education looks different at times. I spent many, many years in a classroom, and now, as most of you know, I'm not in a classroom, but I'm still an educator, and I will always be an educator. So the fact that kids come first in all the decisions that we make, I feel very proud to represent this district with this title because I feel like the Heart of the Bear kind of says a lot. We've done a lot for kids, and I know that we'll continue to do that. And I want to thank everyone that's had a big part in that. So thank you very much. And I'm proud to represent Hatch.
Great, thank you, Kim. Okay, the next person that we want to shine the light on is Miss Deanna Lopez, who I always call Coach, because I'm still waiting for her to get back into the coaching ranks. And I'm always hopeful. Ms. Lopez, correct me if I'm wrong, but you were selected to be part of the Fellowship Leadership Program from NMACD, is that
Yes,
correct? All
yes.
right, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so it's a statewide program that I get assigned a mentor through the career and technical education program. And basically they're just helping me to gain the skills needed to continue to help students find their passion through CTE. And also just to give me the tools and stuff to be able to help kids grow within the fields that they decide to go through. I was super interested when hearing about it, and seeing all of the really great stuff that the presenters at that conference were talking about. So I just thought, give it a shot, and I was selected. So it's a year-long commitment, and that means I will have to present at the next conference, but I'm really excited to see what tools and stuff I can gain to better myself for the students of Hatch Valley Public Schools.
That's great, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. You're so shy.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Coach. Okay, the last of the Heart of the Bear Award is a student. We're going to recognize a student today. And I don't know if Mr. Fernie Sanchez or Ms. Brandy Hoguin will help me in honoring this recognition, but we have a student. His name is Alberto Lazalde, who is a finalist for the Daniels Fund Scholarship.
Yeah.
Okay, so as for those who don't know, I got the chance to be considered a finalist for the Daniels Fund Scholarship, and this means a lot because it's been a really long time since someone in Hatch has been considered a finalist. And at first I was really nervous because me of other kids in New Mexico, but what really helped me was my community, my school community, especially my principals. Before my interview, I was really nervous and I didn't know what to say, but my teachers really helped me run mock interviews to get ready for the interviews. And I was still very nervous, but the day of, Miss Holguin organized a send-off for me. And that really gave me the motivation I needed to not only represent me, but to represent the Bear family as well. And I'm very grateful to be part of this Bear family because it shows that I'm not only a student. I'm actually someone who the teachers care for and want to succeed in life. So for any teachers hearing this message right now, I just want to thank you guys for all your hard work that you put into the students. I really appreciate it from the very bottom of my heart.
Okay, great, perfect. All right, thank you.
I have one more award. Today, I speak on behalf of myself, Chris Montes, and the Old School Board as I present the Heart of the Bear Award to our retiring superintendent, Mike Chavez. In a grateful recognition of your unwavering dedication visionary leadership, and profound impact on Hatch Valley Public Schools. You have led with integrity, compassion, and deep commitment to every child in Hatch Valley. Your heart has inspired us all, showing courage in tough decisions, strength in building our future, and warmth in supporting our people. Mr. Chavez, you brought a big vision to a small rural district in the chili capital of the world, emphasizing that Hatch Valley Public Schools should never settle for less than larger, better funded schools. Your leadership focused on innovation, relationships, community collaborations, and elevating student opportunities despite resource challenges. Starting in 2019, you helped drive a major positive shift in the district's approach, inspiring staff engagement, networking, and excitement among teachers. You prioritized high expectations and excellence for students in the Hatch Valley. You fostered deep collaborations between the schools and the town of Hatch, crediting the late Mayor Slim Whitlock for helping establish the strong relationship. This partnership helped solve community problems while expanding opportunities for students, like the food pantry and the clothing bank. You also have opened our students to success in having a freight farm facility and a school-based vet clinic. You spoke publicly on issues affecting our rural New Mexico students, such as the impacts of federal policies. Your work supported student achievement, staff inspiration, and community involvement in a district serving a primarily Hispanic agricultural community. As you step into retirement, know that the Bear spirit you helped nurture will continue to thrive because of your leadership. Congratulations, and thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
I didn't want to say a whole lot right now. This is a surprise, and so thank you, everyone. And if I could just say a few words, but I'm not going to say a whole lot. But hopefully, I would ask permission at the end of the our time here for final words, and if I could, but I just want to thank everybody, thank the community. Thank you. It's been an honor. It's been an honor to serve our students, our staff, and our community. And, I came here with a vision. And when I came here with that vision, I knew I had to have a good team. And that's what it's about. I mean, no one person can do the work that we've done. And so, but I do want to give credit to all the people that were part of my team. And, because I think we accomplished a lot, and, we in many ways, we moved mountains, but I can't take all the credit, and with that, so I do got to give credit to my team, but also a much higher power, and that is our Lord and Savior, who continues to bless this district, and I couldn't have done it without his strength and his wisdom and his guidance, and so thank you. Well, I'm going to break a little bit of ranks here and include, as part of the Heart of the Bear Award, we do have one other that I'd like to just include with this. We didn't have it on the agenda that way, but I want to include it now. And that is the recognition of Hatch Valley Middle School for their bilingual program. And I just want to talk a little bit about that. Every year, school districts submit paperwork for outstanding bilingual programs, and the state encourages that. And so we submitted a application on behalf of Hatch Valley Middle School for the innovative practices that they've been doing over there. And while all of our schools have very good and strong bilingual programs, I chose to submit the application for Hatch Valley Middle School Because they just done just a little bit above. They've just taken just a little bit step above. And I think it was appropriate for us to be able to do that. But everything from the creation and the operation of an Enlace program, which if you're familiar with Enlace, it is a program that is geared towards student success, specifically our student population, the population that we serve here in the Hatch Valley. And so it was a good fit. There's many other different things like the family nights and the convivio, right? That they do, and if you've been to that, you know that it's a packed house, you know, and of course it always helps when they feed the parents to come and do that, you know, especially when they have pozole, you know, that they're serving. But they do a fabulous job. The staff comes together. The kids have just been wonderful, and you know, one of the things that I really appreciate is, you know, I've been working bilingual programs for most of my career, and you know, it's sometimes, you know, we put these kind of boxes or these kind of programs in separate boxes. And sometimes I always have mixed feelings about that, because while you know our job is to provide equity, sometimes that equity comes in the form of just being inclusive of everybody. And that's what I love about what Hatch Valley Middle School has done, is they're inclusive of everybody. And so, you know, when they had a proficiency rate, 45.2% proficiency in reading, you know, which exceeds the state rate of 43.1. You know, that says something. That says something. I know we talked about that from the district perspective, I believe last month. But this is, you know, focused on the middle school itself. And that's quite an accomplishment for, again, you know, Ms. Garay, you had talked about, you know, our demographics and who we serve, right? And you don't see that. You don't see that those kind of results from the population that we serve. And so kudos to them. It is, you know, their heart's in the right place, and they're doing great things. And so I want to have Miss Leticia Zamora come over and speak a few words. And I know she has staff with her, and I know she has students with her. And so my understanding is students want to talk, and that's awesome.
Well, I want to say thank you.
Hold on. And before you go, I forgot. I failed to mention the most important part. The reason why Miss Perry's not here and several other staff members are because they're being recognized in the rotunda at the state capitol tomorrow morning. So they left today, this afternoon, to go prepare for that. And so they'll be recognized tomorrow at the state capitol in the rotunda at 12 o'clock, I believe.
Yes, thank you. Fortunately, yes, like several of our staff members are not here, including Miss Perry. But we do have some special guests that have prepared something in honor of our awards this evening.
Good evening. My name is Alyssa. And my name is Jaylene. Our bilingual program is made up of the 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade students. With the help of our teachers, we learn how to read, write, spell, and complete school projects and explore different works related to our culture.
También nuestras maestras y maestros nos ayudan con actividades culturales como la kermés, los festivales de otoño, con vendimia, con viajes culturales y ayudando a la comunidad cuando vamos a leer con los niños a la primaria.
All of this is done in both English and Spanish because we are bilingual and we enjoy doing everything in 2 languages. Thank you so much. And do you guys have any questions for us?
8th graders?
7.
7th?
How often do you go to the elementary to read?
It's because we're 7th graders, so the 8th graders have this like an elective.
Okay.
They have an elective where they are like a leadership and they go like weekly to go read to the kids.
Cool. Awesome. So,
And staff members?
Let
Let me put you on the spot.
Good evening, everybody. I'm a bilingual teacher there, and I teach the multicultural studies class, and I feel very honored. Thank you for recognizing us. We work really hard. We have this cohesive, collaborative unity at the middle school, and we try to immerse these kids in culture, language, and develop that and learn about other languages as well. I see myself in them, and
I'm trying to develop that and push them as much as I can in everything that, and this program that she's talking about, it's through Enlace. So Enlace, they go once a week. So it's trying to go out into the community, do things and try to better their school. They do research and what needs to be changed at our school. And that's all through the Enlace program. Thank you for the recognition.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it.
Anybody else? All right. Mr. Chavez,
you, guys.
can we go ahead and give them?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I just wanted, like, the last comments about them is, sometimes we have this idea that bilingual education is some type of watered down curriculum or some type of, and it's a program that celebrates language and culture. And so, at grade level. Ms. Zamora, let's be sure to get some extra pens for Ms. Perry and the other staff members. Okay, boy, that's just another example of the great things that are happening in this district. Next on the list is we have Mr. David Silva. Is Mr. David Silva with us this evening? All right. Mr. Silva has got some announcements that he'd like to share with the board and also with the community. And we told him that we would give him some time to be able to do that.
Hi, guys. Good evening.
Hi, I'm David Silva. Those of you that don't know me, I run the food pantry across the way. I'm the supervisor there. I'm not here for things for the food pantry tonight. One of the reasons I wanted to come and talk to everybody here and let the community know is I've been working on a little side passion project. Those of you that know me, I like to take on more than I really should, and I wear myself real thin. So big announcement that I wanted to do. Like I said, it's a passion project that I took on my own. Little backstory. When I was in college, I was a journalist and a photojournalist for the college. And I also did work, freelance work for the local community during the pandemic. So fast forward to moving here back to Hatch. I'm originally a native from here. Lived down Canal Road my whole life. My dad built the house 70 years ago. So went to college, got a bachelor's degree in animation, media arts and design. Went back to college, got my master's in communications with an emphasis in PR. So came back to Hatch. I actually met Mr. Chavez first, coming back and did some freelance work for the high school. And one of the things that he talked about, and I also worked with the ladies at central office that are amazing. They told me that the one thing that Hatch really lacked was a newspaper. And that was one of the issues that they wish that would get addressed. So when I got hired at the food pantry, a journalist from Santa Fe came and did an article on the pantry. We ended up swapping stories, and I told her about my work as a journalist. So we kept in contact. She ended reaching back out to me sometime last July and said that there is a program through the Internews Studio and the Listening Post Collective, and they would like to help rural communities that need some kind of impact to help the community thrive. So I threw out there, we don't have a newspaper. So they said, write up a proposal and submit it. So I did. I got denied the first time. Then they contacted me again in August and said, reapply again, and let's go from there. So they ended up getting a hold of me in November, the very last week of November, and said that I was approved for the federal grant. So with that, I am now federally funded to start a newspaper here in Hatch. So you'll be seeing a lot of me in the next coming weeks. The proposal for this project is originally 9 months to complete, but they asked me if I could do it in 6. So I'm doing it in 6 months. With that, like I said, I wanted to share with the community a timeline of how this is going to work. So for the first 3 months, I'm going to be gathering information through community sit-downs, get-togethers. I'm going to be taking surveys on what people actually want me to write about in the paper. So that's within the first three months. And after that, in the 4 to 6 months, I'll be analyzing all that data that I collect from the community and seeing what you guys actually want me to write about in the paper and present. Originally going to start out just monthly, and then if everything takes off and traction keeps moving forward, I'd like to do it bi-weekly and then hopefully weekly. With that, since they bumped up the timeline to 6 months instead of 9, depending on, well, the progress of where I'm at, it has to get done within that time. They just did it to where we can have more funding come in to continue the project longer for hopefully forever. So that's going to happen within the next 6 months. I wanted to coordinate with the school board, the school district, the local community, and see when we can actually get together and have these sit downs so we can get all this information. I did make a quick little QR code that I can pass around to everybody if they want to be a part of this project and share or just be up to date with everything. So I can pass that around, and it's real simple. It'll just ask you your name, your phone number, your email. That way I'll have it in an Excel sheet and I don't have to try to read people's handwritings because I'm horrible at that. So it'll be all digital. With that, with my proposal, it is for a hard copy newspaper. Like I said, working at the food pantry, that's one of the issues that I see, that a lot of people don't hear about any events or anything that's going on until it's either the day of or the day after. So if I can get a hard copy ahead of time to people, like I said, that's where collaborating with everybody in town to get all this stuff in advance and that I can put out monthly. I did also make social media sites, so that will be more of a weekly, daily type up-to-date source for that. And that's where this will lead into with the QR code. But like I said, I want to cater to the elderly that don't have access to or the knowledge to work, technology. Because that's what I see on a day-to-day basis at the pantries. That information that they don't hear about because they don't have a Facebook or an Instagram or anything that we utilize to get the word out to the community. But like I said, it's going to be a hybrid of both, but I want to focus on that. And then the other thing was to focus on the Spanish-speaking community. So with that and with some of the funding, I will also be reaching out to some of the organizations. The coalition is really excited for this, for employment opportunities. I will need translators. I'm not very fluent in Spanish. So like I said, it's a great project that's kind of fell into my lap. And I really, really wanted to give back to the community and share that with you all. Let's see. Yeah, so the last bit that I wanted to talk about was me and my wife drove around the other day for 2 hours and we wrote down every business, every restaurant, and every church that was in the valley. Like I said, we want to get everybody's information, everybody be a part of this and have like a collective source that we can disperse to everybody. So we'll also be offering ad spaces in the newspaper for any of those local businesses so we can promote. When I had my interview with the board, they're stationed all over the place. One was in California, one was in Nebraska, another one was in Colombia, and they have headquarters all over the world. So this will go far and the reach will go way beyond the United States. So with that, like I said, they are willing to continue to fund this project if the interest is there. So, and that's what got them on board, was they came down and visit and they saw with their eyes how things were. They shadowed at the pantry and things like that. So they know that the need for information is there to the community. So that's the big announcement. Hatch will now have a newspaper.
Thank
Yep.
you.
Thank you, David. I know that's going to be huge, and it is a hole that's been here for many years. And so to see that, you know, that there'll be a new source here, that's really incredible. So thank you so much.
Yep.
Thank you for doing that and chasing it. And I know it's going to benefit the community greatly.
Thank you.
Thank you, David.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and go to the district alignments. I know the board had some questions last month about district realignment. And I think I gave some inaccurate information, so to save me from misinformation I provided last month, I have the expert here, Mr. Fernie Sanchez, who has the pulse on this and has his finger on it. And I know it's not always popular, and I know that anytime you do any type of realignment, you're gonna have people that are happy and you're gonna have a lot of people that are unhappy. And so I know Fernie is right there in the front line, and so he can give us a firsthand account of what's going on.
So I gave you guys a handout, has the breakdown. So there's a hard number that they use for all sports except football. And our population, about 343. It's actually you go back 3 years, you take the 80-day count, then you go to the next year 80-day count, and then this year's 40-day count. They average that out, you get a number, and it puts us squarely into the 3A classification. But in football, it's kind of interesting because instead of doing by hard numbers, they take the top 16 school populations. That's the top class. Then the next 16 would be, so there's 7 classes in football too. So you go 6A, 5A, 4A, we fall in the 3A class. But as you can see, our district changes, and that would be on page 9. Box that in green for you. That would be our football district, which has us, Hope Christian, Hot Springs, Moriarty, Nimi, Ruidoso, Socorro, and Silver High School now will be in our district for football. So those numbers are what's reported to PED. That's how they do it. I think we knew kind of where we would be in football. I think we're about where we should be number wise. I think the big question most people in our district had was Silver's numbers. They're almost double our numbers, but they do fall in that, like, since they separated by numbers of schools, not by population. The biggest change for us actually happened in soccer. I think one of the benefits of being on the board for the New Mexico Athletic Directors Association was that we sat down with Coach Zamora and we came up with a district plan for 1A through 3A girls soccer, and they adopted that exact plan. I know that seems a little weird, but you look on page 11, in 1A through 3A girls soccer, there's actually only 16 teams, and that's not even true. There's actually 15 because Socorro has not had girls soccer and will not have girls soccer next year either. And that really puts us in believe it or not, Rehoboth, which is way up north by Gallup, is in our district. So, but if you guys have any questions, I'd be happy to answer as best I can.
Have you had any concerns from parents or about the competitiveness of these bigger schools compared to ours?
Well, we play bigger schools. Our location, I mean, we've got Deming on our schedule, which, you know, is in the same district. We play Santa Teresa, we play Chaparral. They're all at the same size as Silver High. So our kids compete, you know, and, you know, the goal is to always put forth the best team we can and develop those kids. But one of the things that we're working on right now is trying to develop those kids at the lower level. The big problem we have right now is the youth programs have gone away. So this past year, the village did start one. We don't know what direction they're going, but I did meet with some parents this morning to discuss bringing in some youth football back. But that's going to be the biggest place for us to make a big jump in the competitive side, but we won't see that for a few years.
You know what? I know they're not part of the district from what I know, but bantamweight football, is there anything we can do about that? Bring it back?
We just had a meeting today. we did meet with a parent that's very interested in starting that up and then getting flag football going for the grades below that. Something that, like I said, just had an initial meeting today with them and we'll move forward with that, trying to get those programs back. We just want kids doing something. So,
Thank you. All right.
thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sanchez. Okay, and last but not least, I know that Kaylee, is she online? Yes, okay.
Yes, I am. Good evening.
Thank you. I don't see you, but I can hear your voice. That's good. I know she's been patiently waiting, but she is here to do a bond sale final pricing presentation. And then that'll go on into when we talk about new business and action items. And so, Kate, I know we met last month and you said you'd be back this month, so I'll just turn it over to you.
Yep. Well, thank you for that introduction, Superintendent. Good evening, President, members of the board. My name, of course, is Kaylee Weimer-Skirch. And tonight, just as an informational item, we have an update on how the district's 2026 bond sale went. So I'm sharing my screen here. On my slide, I just have a brief issue summary. We sold $925,000 of general obligation bonds with the New Mexico Finance Authority back on February 2nd. Closing is scheduled for March 13th, which is when funds will be available for the district to spend. The maturities range from 2026 through 2033. Due to how short the final maturity is for these bonds are not callable. The true interest cost came in at 2.13% for a total interest expense of $29,850. On this slide, we have the debt service payment schedule of these bonds. You'll notice that up front, we have a $300,000 and a $505,000 principal payment structured up front of the loan. So essentially, over $800,000 of this $925,000 loan will be paid off within the first couple of years. That's by design in order to create interest cost savings throughout the loan. Additionally, too, the district did qualify for the New Mexico Finance Authority's disadvantage funding program. So we were able to price 10% of this bond, or $92,500, at a disadvantage funding rate of 2%. That 2% coupon is reflected as a blended coupon in the 2029 maturity and can also be seen in the 2030 through 2033 maturities, too. This slide here is just the district's historical true interest costs of its previous bond sales. We didn't quite beat last year's true interest cost of just 1.25%. That interest cost was a little bit of an anomaly because of how short the final maturity of the 2025 bonds were. The 2025 bonds are already paid off, which is why, last year's true interest cost was so low compared to this year's, 2.13%. For the market update, I won't bore you guys with that, but ultimately we did see some downward pressure on interest rates this past month, which did benefit the district's 2026 bond sale. With that, I will stop and see if there's any questions for me about the district's bond sale or wider plan of finance.
Good evening. I just need a quick refresher on the disadvantage funding. What does that include, or what does it include?
Yeah, absolutely. So the disadvantaged funding program is essentially where the New Mexico Finance Authority looks at the median household income of your community. And depending on if it is below the median or the state's average, that determines your level of disadvantaged funding. The district's median household income was just barely below the state's, which is why the district only qualified for 2% disadvantaged funding compared to a 0% disadvantaged funding rate.
Thank you.
And Kaylee and or Sheila, I know that this bond sale at $925,000 is a significant increase from the last one. Am I correct? Yes.
Yes. We did increase your bond election amount at the 2025 election. The reason being is because we had seen quite a growth in your assessed valuation, and also we had been able to pay off your previous bond sales very quickly. So both of those things is what allowed us to go out for a larger bond election in 2025 without needing a tax rate increase.
Right. That's always great news. I know that'll help in the different projects well, they're ongoing. And so that'll help us maintain our facilities and some of the other things that we do for that money, with that money.
Absolutely.
Okay. Is there any other questions for Kaylee?
No, sir.
All righty. Kaylee, I know you'll be with us as we go into some of the action item. And so you can just bear with us a little bit. That would be great.
Absolutely.
Okay, and that concludes my superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mr. Chavez. Item number 3, limited public comment. Ramirez, is there any others? No? Okay, so each individual will have 5 minutes. And when I call your name, if you want to come up front, we'll start with Joey Montenegro.
Good evening, members of the school board. I'm here on that 4-day weekend for the 4-day school for the kids. First, I want to thank you for allowing me to speak. I'm here today to respectfully ask to keep our current 5-day school week. Our children need consistent instructional need time to succeed. Reducing the week to 4 days means less time for learning and more pressure to fit lessons into longer and more exhausting days. When students are tired, they are less focused and less able to absorb information. School also provides structure, stability, meals, support services, and a safe environment. Many working families depend on a 5-day schedule. Changing to 4 days could create childcare challenges and added stress to parents. While a 4-day week may seem convenient, we must prioritize what is best for students, academic progress, and overall well-being. A 5-day schedule gives children the routine support and learning time they need to succeed. Like I said, possible learning gaps. Younger students, especially, may forget material over long breaks. As it is, with breaks, summer breaks, winter breaks, it's hard for the children to get back in that routine after the breaks they have for Christmas, Thanksgiving, and whatnot. Less routine and structure. Some students do better with consistent daily routine. Again, Monday through Friday, school days versus Monday through Thursday. And most of the families here would agree as far as childcare problems, it creates childcare problems. Most of the families are agriculture workers and have issues finding childcare. So basically that's my, I would just like to keep our school at 5 days, and that's pretty much it. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you. Next is Claudia Rengel. I believe I said that right.
Buenas tardes. Soy Claudia Rangel, soy madre y empleada y quiero recordarles que Hatch es una comunidad donde muchos padres empezamos a trabajar desde antes de las 6 de la mañana. Las guarderías locales no abren antes de las 7, lo que hace difícil encontrar cuidado para un día adicional sin clases. Además, en comunidades agrícolas, los niños quedarían sin supervisión durante largas horas. Los adolescentes, al tener un día libre, pasan más tiempo solos. Distritos han reportado aumentos en problemas de conducta y vandalismo durante el día. En comunidades rurales, donde hay menos actividades estructuradas y menos opciones de recreación, este tiempo adicional sin supervisión aumenta el riesgo de conductas de riesgo y participación en actividades inapropiadas y se convierte en un factor de riesgo significativo. Este modelo de los 4 días no está diseñado para familias rurales como las nuestras. No podemos dejar a nuestros hijos solos. Les pido que consideren la realidad de nuestra comunidad. Gracias.
Gracias. Charlie Poe.
Good evening, members of the board. My name is Charlie Poe, and I am a parent and a community member. I am speaking tonight not as an expert or an educator, but as a parent who wants our school to succeed and our students to have the best opportunities possible. I am asking the board to thoughtfully consider a 4-day school week, not to approve it tonight necessarily, but to study it carefully and openly with input from teachers, parents, students, and staff. Families and communities like ours already juggle a lot, from activities to travel, appointments, and miss school for events and illnesses. Many districts similar to ours have explored a 4-day week to help with attendance, staff retention, and scheduling challenges. For example, Tier C School District has reported results. Over $17,000 alone saved in substitute teaching costs in 1 semester. Improved attendance, stronger engagement. Their survey also showed that 74% of teachers rated their experience as excellent, and more than 80% said student engagement improved. That doesn't mean it's automatically right for us, but it does show it's worth a real conversation. As a parent, I simply want the district to collect real, unbiased data. By unbiased, I mean information gathered with neutral questions, equal opportunity for participation, and results shared transparently. Not leading surveys, selective samples, or predetermined outcomes. The goal should be to understand, not to persuade. A 4-day week may or may not be the answer, but giving it an honest evaluation is something our community deserves. I respectfully ask the board to commit to exploring it fully and letting facts and local feedback guide the discussion. Thank you for listening and for caring for our students.
Thank you. Laura Calderon.
Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
Mi nombre es Laura Calderón y yo quiero hablarles sobre la igualdad y el bienestar estudiantil. El calendario de 4 días suele beneficiar más a los maestros que a los estudiantes. Menos días de trabajo, mismo salario. Este modelo es atractivo para los maestros, pero debemos recordar que la escuela existe para servir a los niños, no para ajustarse a la conveniencia de los maestros. También debemos reconocer el impacto que este modelo tiene en los empleados por hora de nuestro propio distrito. En muchos distritos, los empleados por hora, por ejemplo, conductores, asistentes, personal de cafetería y de mantenimiento, pierden horas de trabajo e ingresos cuando se adopta la semana de 4 días, a menos que el distrito tome medidas específicas para compensarlos. Estos trabajadores no reciben contratos anuales ni sueldos fijos. Dependen de cada hora trabajada. No podemos hablar de igualdad si no adoptamos un modelo que perjudica a los empleados con menores ingresos dentro de nuestra propia comunidad. Investigaciones muestran que los estudiantes de comunidades rurales y de bajos ingresos, como los nuestros, son los más afectados por la modificación del calendario académico y la manera en que se redistribuyen las horas de clase. Además, en otros distritos, los estudiantes en semanas de 4 días mostraron peores resultados en matemáticas y más ausencias. Los adolescentes pasan más tiempo solos en casa, lo que aumenta los riesgos de ansiedad, aislamiento y uso de redes sin supervisión. Los programas de comida escolar se reducen para muchos niños. La escuela es donde reciben 2 comidas completas al día. Los estudiantes que dependen de servicios como terapias, tutorías o apoyo emocional pierden un día entero de acceso. Nuestros hijos ya enfrentan desventajas académicas y sociales. Quitarles un día de escuela no es justo.
es dañino. Les pido que protejan el tiempo de aprendizaje de nuestros hijos. Gracias.
Gracias. Okay, item 4. We'll go to 4A, consideration of approval of resolution on intent to maintain mill levy rate. Superintendent Chavez.
As mentioned, we do have Kaylee with us to expand on that and stand for any questions.
Thank you for that introduction, Superintendent. The resolution in front of you, essentially all it does is state that for tax year 2025, our current tax year, the district's mill levy to service your general obligation bonds was $10.31. This resolution states that it is the board's intention and desire that the tax rate for next year, tax year 2026, be $10.31 again. I want to clarify that this resolution is really just in stating our intention or our goal for the tax rate. It does not guarantee what the tax rate will be next year because there are some factors that are out of our control, such as your tax collections and also fluctuations within your tax base. Essentially, the purpose of this resolution is purely just for transparency and also to assist us with the tax rate setting process with the Public Education Department when we set tax rates with them in the summer. With that, I stand if there's any questions regarding this resolution.
Are there any questions? Your recommendation?
Recommendation is for approval.
Okay. I will entertain a motion to approve the intent to maintain mill levy rate.
So moved.
Moved by Member Garay, seconded by Secretary Montes. I will take a roll call vote. If you are in favor, say aye. If opposed, say no. VP Gonzalez.
Aye.
Secretary Montes.
Yes.
Member Garay.
Yes.
Member Legarreta.
Aye.
And myself, President Marquez, aye. Motion carries 5-0. 4B, consider approval of audit.
Hold on,
Oh, sorry.
Mr. President. Kaylee, I just want to just thank you again. I
Okay,
thought there
sorry
was
about that.
another item, but I think that was it. And so Kaylee, I'm sorry, did I say Kylie? Kaylee. I'm sorry, I always get that confused, and so my apologies, but thank you so much for the partnership that we've had over the years, and you guys continue to represent us very well, and I just want to say thank you again.
Thank you, Superintendent Chavez. We hope that this next chapter in your life is filled with a lot of excitement and joy too. And congratulations again to the district on the successful bond sale.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Have a great rest of your meeting.
All right, 4B, consider approval of the audit.
Mr. President, we're going to have to table that one
Okay.
because we were in hope that we would have our audit approved by the state auditor, and we have not yet received that approval yet. And so the audit cannot be released until we hear from the state auditor.
Okay, well, then I will entertain a motion to table the approval of the audit.
So moved.
Moved by Secretary Montes, seconded by Member Garay. For this one, I'll go ahead and do a voice vote. If you are in favor, say aye.
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 If you're opposed, say no. Okay, motion carries. The audit is tabled. Okay, item 4C, consider approval of purchase of Chromebooks from MNJ Technologies Direct Incorporated. Mr. Chavez.
Yes, we have, this is just the refresh program for the Chromebooks. We always have a rotation with our Chromebooks, and when they get to end of life, we replace them. And so this is just for that to replace the ones that need to be replaced. And so I don't know that Andrew's here or he's not here, but Sheila, do you have any other information on that?
Do we know how many?
There is a quote attached with letter
Oh.
C. And I know the plan is to every year refresh a grade. Is that correct? Or a school. So this is 350 Chromebooks. This is in the new budget for the new audit that you've already approved earlier in our increased bars.
Which school, do you know this offhand? Which school is getting the Chromebooks? Oh, throughout the
Throughout the
district.
district.
Okay.
So starting with 350 and then we
starting
would
just-
replace more next year, just every year. on a schedule. We really haven't been able to be on a schedule because our bond amount wasn't large enough. But we were able to increase that this year.
Yes, thank you to the voters. Yes.
Yes, thank you, voters.
My recommendation is for approval.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to Chromebooks, the purchase of Chromebooks from NMJ Technologies. Moved by Member Garay. Motion by Secretary Montes, seconded by Member Garay. I'll go ahead and take a roll call vote. If you are in favor, say aye. If opposed, say no. VP Gonzalez,
Aye.
Secretary Montes,
Aye.
Member Garay,
Yes.
Member Legarreta,
Aye.
and myself, President Marquez, aye. Motion carries 5-0. Item 4D, consider the purchase of a new activity bus.
Yes, sir. Mr. Eduardo Fernandez couldn't be with us today, but he did pass along the information, and I know Sheila has that information, but I just want to talk a little bit about the request that we are going to be voting on is for a new activity bus. And as you know, we've got one of our buses that we've had a lot of trouble with putting a lot of Band-Aids on it, and it hasn't been reliable, and I believe the air conditioning has it's hit and miss. A lot of times it doesn't work. And it is not at end of life. I want to make that clear. We've still got about 2 more years before it gets to end of life. But it's just not functional for us anymore. And it's a lot of problems that.
Send it back.
What's that?
Send it back.
It's time. And so it's
Reliable.
it's not reliable, no. And so we think that, we do have it in the budget to go ahead and replace it. And I think it would be a good investment and not wait for the 2 years for it to go to end of life. So let's get it done now while we have the money to be able to do that. And there's a lot that we've learned, from the last purchase that we did for an activity bus. And so this time around, we're going to get a bus that is a little more comfortable. The previous one that we purchased, the seats weren't very comfortable and it just wasn't comfortable for the kids or the coaches. But this one, we're going to spend a little more time, and so it'll be reflected in the price. Again, I just want to repeat that we do have the money in the budget to be able to do so. And Sheila's here to go over any more information and stand for questions.
And Mr. Chavez, I'm not familiar with the activity buses, but 44 people can fit on there?
Yes.
That's
Yes.
roughly what it is.
Yeah, más o menos, yes.
42? Is that what you?
42.
22 seats.
Oh, 22
22
seats.
seats, yes.
So it's plenty for even football, there's plenty for, right?
Yes,
Oh.
yes.
What is average bus?
72 or something, right?
A
big bus, regular?
No, I think it's a standard bus. I think this is what we have, yeah.
How much is a standard bus, like when we go on field trips, like those yellow buses?
Oh, the yellow
70
buses, yeah, I think that's.
72, right? Don't you put, oh, no, I'm just saying, like, these are little, are they? the
No,
same?
this is the big one. Okay, so let me clarify.
seats are different.
Okay. And thank you for pointing that out. The last bus that we purchased, it was a microbus.
Oh,
Is the small bus. I'm talking about the big bus, the one that seats
Okay.
44.
So the big
people.
ones, they have 22 seats.
oh, they have like the comfortable seat.
The comfortable
Okay.
seat. So the problem is when you take a yellow bus, they're rated at 3 people per seat.
Oh,
So when you get up to 24 seats, you actually
Oh.
get 72 kids, but that doesn't work at the high school level. That only works
Okay.
at the elementary level, and not
And
even
even that
then,
sometimes
that's
it doesn't
tough.
work.
So this is a thing, and I've been working with Eduardo about this because the last bus we purchased, the seating was
Doctor office chairs?
I wish. This was like I
Works.
mean, most kids would rather take a yellow bus right now than take the newest bus we have because of the seats are too short. So they cut into your leg. They're great for close trips. They're just not good when you're traveling 3-4 hours.
All up to Gallup.
Well, you have to wait up to Gallup now. That'll be a thing. So, and the microbus does not have storage.
Okay.
So it's impossible to take when the kids go on a trip and they have any luggage. There's no storage. All this has, the new bus has storage. One thing he did want to point out was that he had been communicating with them, and he and I had been communicating back and forth about this, is the seating. That's the single biggest hiccup. He would like to, I don't know if he shared that with Mr. Chavez or not, but he did want to say, hey, he wanted to have a little $20,000 more in case he needed to upgrade the seats to the right seats. He and I are going to go out to Alamogordo to go try out seats because they just purchased new buses and they got those with the different seating.
I think it'd be worthwhile to be able to do that. Yeah.
So this is the base price with activity seating, but we do plan to buy a better grade of seat.
Okay.
But we could not get a quote for that for tonight.
Now it says here that you approximate 4 or 5 months. I do not believe that.
The
Do you believe-
microbus took about 14 months.
Yeah.
And so that's why, again, we have 2 more years left on this
You might get
current
it
bus,
in
but
that
we're hoping to have the new bus if we order it now.
2 years.
And by then, they said that adding the other seats could also extend the time.
My recommendation is for approval.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve the purchase of a new activity bus. It was moved by Secretary Montes and seconded by Member Garay. I will take a roll call vote. If you're in favor, say aye. If opposed, say no. VP Gonzalez.
Aye.
Secretary Montes.
Aye.
Member Garay.
Yes.
Member Legareta.
Aye.
Myself, President Marquez, aye. Motion carries 5-0 to purchase a new activity bus. Okay, 4E, consider approval of installation of lighting at Hatch Valley Middle School track.
This is the continued efforts to bring up our track so that we may someday host a track meet here like we used to. We have done significant improvements to the track over at the middle school. We resurfaced the track. We've included all the events, and we spent a considerable amount of money just to get it to that stage. But one of the things that we have here now is the lighting. We need the lighting out there, and it serves 2 purposes. It serves the track program and being able to host a track meet, but it also, as you know, a lot of the community members use that track, and they use it at night, and so it becomes a safety issue. And it's very dark out there. This will light it up for us so that we don't have that kind of concerns with safety, and it's good. It's good for the district. It's good for the community. And so again, we do have the money in the budget, and my recommendation is for approval.
Okay, thank you. Is there a motion to approve the lighting for Hatch Valley?
So moved.
Moved. It was moved by Member Garay, seconded by Secretary Montes. Once again, I'll take a roll call vote. If you are in favor, say aye. If opposed, say no. VP Gonzalez.
Aye.
Secretary Montes.
Aye.
Member Garay.
Yes.
Member Legareta.
Aye.
Myself, President Marquez, aye. Motion carries 5-0. 4F, consider approval of purchase of Hatch Valley High School gym bleachers.
Yes, Mr. President, it's again, one of those things that we've been kind of kicking the can down the road, and it's time for us to just go ahead and make a decision on that. We have tried everything to try to get those bleachers to work. And every time we've got somebody come out, we've had, I think, one contractor say, well, I can work on it, but I can't guarantee the work. You know, and it's like, well, then that, you know, we're taking a big gamble, and I just didn't think that was appropriate. And so right now we have not extended that side of the bleachers. We've kept them closed until we just absolutely have to open them. And so it's time, it's time to go ahead and replace them. I know it's to me, it looks like, I don't know, it's a little bit wasteful, it seems like, because the bleachers are still in good condition. However, the mechanism to retract them and extend them just is not working. It's not functional. It's tearing up the gym floor. And we're gonna have to, well, we've already have in the works to do repairs on the gym floor. And so this is a good time to replace the bleachers also, so that we can protect that investment. And so continuing with these bleachers that are there will just eat away at that floor and just be a waste of money on our part. And so, again, we have the money in the budget to be able to do that. And so my recommendation is for approval.
Okay, and Mr. Chavez, the floor will support the new bleachers? Is that what you're
Yes.
doing?
Yes. And so I don't know, I know Fernie's been, he's been the one that's doing a lot of the talking with,
So the floor will be finished first and then the.
yes, I believe so.
No,
No,
Oh.
at the same time.
not,
Oh, at the same time?
So what it'll allow us to do when we talked with Barry Stout, actually, if we time it right, they're gonna do the demo. He'll be able to come in, relay that floor, because then he'll be able to get back further in, just because of where they sit, the rollers go on. If he does the floor first, that first part that it rolls on is actually gonna be the old floor, which is creating the bubble. So it's gonna be a bit of a dance, but we'll coordinate that between Stout Flooring and you have two quotes, mind you, for the gym floor. One's through Norcon and one's through BSN. Just so you guys can see that. We did during this meeting get an updated quote with the prevailing wages for BSN to 235. So that quote you have right now from BSN is not correct. But it is, the total amount's 235. $235,630 for that. But we'll get the flooring done properly. That's already been, we've already sent them the PO for the flooring, and now it'll just be to coordinate with the Stout Flooring, Barry Stout.
Who do you like of these two?
BSN.
BSN?
There's a whole bunch of other things with them. Every time we purchase with BSN, we'll get branding back. So there'll be things we can put in the school, like whether it be stickers or seating. They do work with the school more that way. They're both good companies though. I've got nothing bad to say. Norcon has done some work for us too, so.
And Mr. Sanchez, just for clarity, this is to replace what we have existing, correct?
Yeah, that's gonna be completely taken out. Just so you know, like we put it out for the Tier C game. We have to have students get under there and push the bleachers. And there's certain sounds when you're working with metal you don't want to hear, and that you hear them. So, and when we put them back, we have to have students get back in there and help push it and close it. So it's not operating properly. And nobody wants to work on it. No one will guarantee the work. We did have one guy did say he'd come down and work on it and fix it. He'd give you a warranty for 30 days.
Oh.
But even the cost of him was almost half of what it cost to replace them.
How old are those bleachers?
Since
Like,
they've
anybody-
been there since
That they built the
since
school,
they built school.
2001, 2000?
All right,
It's about 20
Yeah,
years,
that's
20 plus
It's
years.
been there since they've been there.
and there's not a soul.
I've tried, I'm telling you, we did contact a person. I know that Oregon Mountain is dealing with the same thing. They have a facility group that goes out, and I think it takes 8 gentlemen to go, and they use dollies and that stuff to do that. So they've been looking too, so no luck.
Okay.
So, thank you.
Okay, so is there a motion to approve the bleachers?
Don't move.
Moved by Secretary Montes, seconded by Member Garay. I will take a roll call vote. If you're in favor, say aye. If opposed, say no. VP Gonzalez.
Aye.
Secretary Montes.
Aye.
Member Garay.
Yes.
Member Legareta.
Aye.
Myself, aye. Motion carries 5-0. Okay. Okay, members of the board, we are at 4G, discussion on district calendar for 26-27 school year. And specifically, our conversation will be around the 4-day school week, specifically 4-day school week. It says date, but week, right?
It's supposed to be school week. yes.
Okay, sorry. Yes. So I don't know, whoever would like to start and you have any comments?
I'll just comment that I'm neither for nor against. I am for choice. I want the community, the parents and the staff to have a choice. I want them to have a say in what we do. So if you are for or you are against it, when those surveys come out, you need to get out there and make sure your voice is heard, and you need to make sure and get out there and vote. Because it should be the community, the parents and the staff, all three that drive this. And the board should be looking at doing what is best for the community and the best for the kids.
So I do have a question, VP Gonzalez. So there's already going to be a survey sent out? I wasn't aware.
I
Is there-
do not know if there is or not.
Oh.
I'm just saying, I'm gonna assume it will be because there always is. But if there is, you need to make sure your voice is heard and vote.
And I mean, and for me, I want to know the why. I mean, will this help with student learning? I'm not sure, like, that's what I would like to know is how is this going to improve student learning? By going 4 days a week versus the 5 days a week? And is it fair and equitable for the whole community? 4 to 5. And And those of you that, and I spoke last year, and most of you know that I'm in favor of the 5-day. I'm gonna just put it out there. I just think that it's, if we're focusing, and that's our mission, the student learning, our kids need to be in school. And yeah, I mean, that's just my opinion, but I will, like VP Gonzalez stated, I will go with what the community is wanting, but also going back on how is that gonna impact student learning? Is it good for students? And that's the main thing that I'm gonna keep asking, is it good for students? In which, we do want happy teachers, we do want, the morale and less subs, but at the same time, what's best for kids? And does it align with our vision and our plans with our priorities? So the main thing that I want everybody to keep in mind is student learning. How is that gonna improve student learning? Now, we had wonderful students here this evening, and I heard there's some students up in Santa Fe that are doing very well academically. Now, so those are things that I would wanna, before we even make that decision, and I believe the board does have, we do make that decision, correct?
That is correct,
As a
yes.
board, we do have that decision, that's our decision.
It
as a
is
board.
part, Mr. President Marcus, it is part of the budget that the board approves, and so it is submitted when the budget is approved by the board.
And this year, when is the budget due? Because it's always different times, right? So,
It's always a different time where the legislative session is still in session. The budget conference is in March this year. It's early this year. And so, one of the things that I just want to point out, if I may, is the reason it opened up the 4-day week for school districts to be able to move in that direction. Different from prior years. Prior years, PED had to approve any type of request for a district to move into a 4-day week. And you had to show like extenuating circumstances and that sort of thing. So 4-day work week or 4-day week works really well for rural communities that, especially those that have to travel, for example, Animas. Animus, that has to travel so far and just to go to a doctor appointment is quite a travel time for them. And so that was the intent, my understanding, that was the intent when 4-day week was allowed. Last year, what happened during the legislative session is the legislators in the budget in House Bill 2, there's always been language that allowed PED to have that authority to approve any type of changes. Last year, that wording was not in there. And so it opened up the door for any district to move in that direction. I guess my concern is that wording could always be put back in at any time, at any of the different legislative sessions. And so something to consider.
could I?
Yes. I am totally against 4-day. For the reasoning being is that our kids come first. Our kids need that consistency through the week. People say, well, it's a daycare. It is not a daycare. Without those kids, we do not have a job. Teachers do not have a job. Janitors do not have a job. Custodians do not have a job. The kitchen ladies do not have a job. So without those kids, we are nothing. And if we've been through COVID and it did not show results. And that was online learning. And that was every day. So we know that it does not work. I'm not going to put those 4-year-old kids on a bus at 6:30 in the morning to have a full day and then still get on the bus and get home at 4:30, 4:50 in the afternoon. I do not feel comfortable doing that. I will not do that. Say you get the Friday off. Teachers, they're gonna say, well, I can't, they have to work half a day is what I'm assuming. They will still have to come in to work. Or not.
Or not.
But if they were to have to come into work, what keeps them from saying, well, I don't have a babysitter today. I can't go to work. So that's a double standard. We do not have, we have daycare at the high school, correct?
That's correct.
We have a daycare in town, which is very limited. And again, our population of agricultural students, parents that work, like they said, they go in 6, 7 in the morning. Some of them work later hours. They would love to have the flexibility of getting off at 3:30 when their kids get off, but they don't. They have to work. So then who is home with these kids? The brother? How does he know how to tend to a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old, a 4-year-old? How does he know how to feed them, what to feed them, what is good for them, what is not good for them? So at the end of the day, I am totally against this.
And I will add, just New Mexico is spending so much money on early childhood, pre-K, and then we're gonna take a day. I don't feel comfortable unless there's really something out there that says it will improve student learning. I agree with Member Garay.
I
in that
don't see
regard.
how it would improve.
Yeah, no, I don't
student
believe it,
learning
but that's
because
something that we
now
should
the kids
investigate.
are gonna say, well, I'm going to school, say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'll just take Monday off. Or why go Thursday? I have a game. I don't have to go anymore. I'll just miss. So we have to hold these kids accountable. And somebody threw it out there, well, let's ask the kids. Why would you ask a kid? They're gonna say, no, I don't want to go to school no days.
Or some of
Let's
them
just
may
do it
want to
online.
be.
Let's just do it online.
I've known students that want to come.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, I mean, there's
it's-
some out
we
there
do
that just,
percentage,
yeah, they
yes,
love coming to
but-
school and then once again, it's a safe place and it just builds that consistency, but
Our district is not built for that. We
And
are not tier C.
I
We are
don't know
not
for
sport.
the transportation director, what is the longest drive? Las Uvas maybe? Or?
In transportation, yeah, Las Uvas,
So
yeah.
it's not a
Yeah.
40 mile, 50 mile ride, right?
No.
Like, and so when we're trying to compare Tier C and Hatch, when you're going out there to Hillsborough or to Winston, it's very different.
Yeah,
I mean,
yes, that's
it's a
correct.
different kind of kids on the bus. But I am open, I mean, I will make a decision based on what's good for kids. And
I would hope we make a decision based on our children and not personal reasons. No family, no whatever. Everything comes down to kids and the community. That's who we serve. Our children and our community.
But students always come first.
Member Legarreta?
I would still like to see what the community thinks, along with the staff and the children. I'm neither for it nor against it. I want to see how they feel and what results we get. But like I said, I am not for it or against it. I'd like to see what everybody feels.
Wow.
Mr.
Okay.
President, if I can.
Yes.
If you'll allow me.
Yes.
I just want to share a couple of things. I think some of the things that need to be considered also is that we have shown 3 years of solid growth academically. And we have one of the highest graduation rates. There's a lot of good things about our district already, and that our students are rising up to that level of expectation. Our staff are pushing our kids to achieve the results that we've been achieving. I'm going to just coming back to, the fact that, the demographics, and that's the other thing that I would hope that would be considered is the demographics of the students that we serve. And we know that 56% of our kids are identified Ls. You know, but, you know, I say that, very hesitantly because I don't want our Ls to be put on a target on them. Because language development is not just our English learners. Language development is also impacted by poverty. And poverty, we live in an impoverished district, community. And, language development is also, and so for some of our kids, you know, it's a double whammy. And, but even the kids that are not, Ls, you know, academic language it's the language of school. It's not the language of the home. And so, you know, when we talk about kids being at home, they're not receiving academic language, you know, they're receiving, social language. And so, that's something that I think, you know, given the demographics that this community serves, that this district serves, I think that's something that needs to be taken consideration along with the progress that we made, the academic gains that we've made, and we're on the right track. And so, you know, there's, you know, to be totally unbiased, you know, there's pros and cons. There's pros and cons to both of them. But in the end, I think, as already mentioned, you know, kids come first. But it's also, you know, what is the makeup of the kids? You know, what are the demographics of the kids that we serve? I think that weighs heavily on you know, any type of decision, you know, whether it's 4-day or 5-day. Thank you.
Thank you. So, board members, where do we go from, where do we go from here?
Think it's up to the district to do their surveys and gather the information.
And what type of survey? So when we send out that survey, like, are we going by just the majority like, for example, if everybody wants a 4-day, but there's no reasoning behind it, no research, like, so if we do get the surveys and my question, once again, how does that improve student learning, academic vocabulary, as Mr. Travis was talking about, the social and the KELP and the BICS and being in school, like, so that's something
The
that
survey
we
would-
would just,
The survey would have to be in Spanish,
yes.
clearly in Spanish.
We have it. In English and in Spanish.
Have we had a survey for this before? Come on up.
And I guess my question is like, what is the intent of this, the why? I guess I'm not understanding the why.
Well, I think if you,
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, how did all this get started?
so we've done a survey.
Okay.
So we have done
Okay.
but I want to be clear on the survey. The survey did not push, hey, answer, do you want to see a 4-day or 5-day? That was not the question on the survey. So the question was, would you like to see the same calendar as last year, or would you like to see a change? And if you would like to see a change, what would that change be? The single largest response may have been, no, we don't want to change. We want to keep it the same. But we didn't pose the 4 or 5-day question. We just wanted to gather kind of a baseline to what was important in the creation of a calendar, because those things matter. I've also visited at every school. So we've sent out a survey to community that was open to everybody. We received 102 results from that. We had 24 people respond with a 4-day as part of, hey, this is something that they were able to enter. So there's interest for it. When I visit the campuses, I would say that the biggest conversation that happens to everyone is a 4-day, talk about a 4-day calendar. So there's interest. And what it comes is, where's the balance? You know, I mean, we're talking about what's best for kids, but teachers have to be part of that conversation too. And if teachers really want to see a 4-day, then that's something we do have to consider. And I think there's community members that don't, and there's community members that do. So to me, it's become a 50-50 situation here. No matter what
agree
you
with But I
do.
also think we have to get more community input than 102 people. We need
And
a lot more.
I had
Those
200
102 were
forums, so we had
faculty and
two-
staff or community members?
No,
102.
and I'm telling you, of the 26 people attended, most of those were actually staff
Oh,
members.
okay.
So I will tell you, in talking to people randomly, it's hard to get a good sample. We've had 2 open community meetings where I've been here for an hour and a half, and I've sat here and I've met with anyone that came in. I think it's unfair to say that one side is correct over the other. I like the idea that to look into it. I think the bigger thing we need to look at is saying, if the board would consider it, then we can survey on that and we can ask more pointed questions and get better information. because the first one was just so open-ended, but we didn't have direction yet from the board, which is why I had to give you a call, Mr. Marquez, and say, hey, we need some direction from the board so that we can put out the next survey, we can have the next community meeting. And I want to point out, data for us for a 4-day is very hard to come by because the two largest studies happened in Colorado and Georgia. They do not involve the state of New Mexico. They do not involve our demographics. So we can't speak to either it good or bad in a data, like for data support. But we have made good gains the last 3 years, right? And so the question is, but we also don't have to jump all the way in. There's other options. We can take a step in that direction. We can go to what would be considered a hybrid model. We can look at adding more days off. There's things we can do. Saying a 4-day or 5-day too also is very difficult because we have a 5-day, a 4-day. Well, that means no 3-week Christmas break. That means coming in earlier. That means staying later. As you look at anyone else's calendar, those are the things that it means. But I think more importantly is if you guys are willing to consider it, allow us then to put out surveys and get more pointed information on that. But for reasoning, I think it's personal for each person. Like if you're asking their opinion and you're asking in a survey, every person should be able to answer that comfortably and without feeling like that. And you would hope that they're doing it for the right reasons, but their reasons are right to them. And I think that, trying to get to what we do next is important. But every issue we come up with can be answered because there's other districts that are doing it. Doesn't mean we're going to like those answers, and it doesn't mean those answers will work for us. But I mean, it's.
Well, Fernie, my concern is, the staff, and we are grateful for our staff, man. We
Correct.
respect them.
Yes.
We try to give them everything that they need so they
Correct.
can succeed, so our children succeed. But the staff that's been here for a while now, they should understand the demographics of a 4-day week does not work for Hatch. It does not work for Hatch. It's already been, we did a study years ago on the board. Then it didn't pan out.
I've never
I don't
taken that
understand what
information.
the-
Mr.
where the
Mendez.
confusion is with staff.
I can only tell you what's been shared with me. I can only tell you guys what I have heard in the meetings that I've been at. For me, I'm on the fence. The more I study it, the more on the fence I am.
Can you tell me how it affects the hourly employees?
That's a.
We would have to
whole-
hold them, well.
I'm
we'd have
gonna
to
be
hold
here
them
till
har-
10 o'clock.
Do you hold them harmless or not? I mean, I don't
Can't
know.
hold them harmless.
I mean, that's.
So the question really comes is your EAs and your teachers have a salary based by the state.
Yeah.
That's not going to change whether they are on a 4-day or 5-day. The real question is going to come in is what would the board do, or Sheila working her magic, what do you do with the cafeteria workers, the bus drivers, those are the things. The problem with the
support
cafeteria
staff,
workers
yes.
is SFE because we contract them. I don't know what the process is for them because most of our cafeteria workers are gonna be paid through SFE. I don't know that. That's above my pay grade, way beyond me, and I don't want to try to speak to that. Mr. Chavez would know more about that.
Well, we contract the services, and so, we don't dictate how much they pay their employees or, days or anything like that. We just purchase a service, and the service is food service, providing breakfast and lunch for our kids.
Right, so what happens when it's the bus drivers as well, correct? So we lose 3 bus drivers because now they gotta go to a district that's gonna pay them for 5 days. And then now we're looking for bus drivers. So you gotta know how to balance that, and
I think to
It's
get
not a-
those,
no.
And those are things that I would want to know with the less mileage that the buses are driving, are we gonna lose money for that? Or I don't know. I don't know all those things, but those are things that, and it's late in the game. And I wish we would have started this back in October, because I would like to see the survey and look at the questions and before I even feel comfortable sending that out. If it's gonna be our responsibility to make that decision, I want to, and I don't know how to create that survey, and I don't want to. But I would like to see that survey before it goes out, and specifically, and how are we gonna tabulate all those, look at all those 5 or 6 questions and make a educated decision by the time the budget's due.
Just clarification for everybody in the room here. We are currently a split board. So if those people that are 3, they're gonna outvote the other 2. Regardless if we do surveys or not. That is my concern. Hopefully we can act
Well,
as one.
member, Secretary Montes, I think you're misspeaking there because I already told people my opinion of how I feel about a 4-day week.
I know you did.
So you're saying that, you're saying that VP Gonzalez and Legarreta, that's the 2 and we're the 3? I'm
No,
not sure what you're saying that.
I didn't mention
So
anything.
I know, but that's what I'm
As said,
saying.
I stated I'm neither for nor against. I'm for
But it
choice
doesn't-
for the community.
But I make
And
my
I
own
stand by that.
decision. It doesn't matter if it's a split board. I make my own decisions. I stated earlier. I want to know how that's going to improve student learning. Is it equitable and is it good for kids? And if it's not, then I'm going to vote my conscience and that's what I'm going to do. It doesn't matter if it's 3-2, 2-3. That has nothing to do with it. And why you bring that up, to me, that is very condescending to me and the rest of the board.
I did
members.
not mention any names.
Well, you don't have to mention names.
Survey, for that matter, and work with the community. I mean, you know, I mean.
That would work.
I mean, a petition, most of the families here, sorry. Most of the families here would agree on the petition versus a survey. The survey, like, I'm sorry, your name? Mr. Sanchez said it was 102 on the survey. Most of the people don't get the mail or they don't want to fill out surveys because it takes too much time, it takes too much questions, answers, this, that, and the other, versus a petition. Let's get signatures from the community versus a survey, and we'll go from there.
And Mr. Montenegro, you're in the community, and I want to hear from you. What are you hearing about that 4-day, honestly?
As of now, I'm hearing it's a negative, it's a no, it's a nay. I mean,
From the
again,
community.
from the community,
Okay.
from the church, from the families, the church we go to, the church we attend to, I mean, different kinds of families. Hispanic culture, it's a nay. No one wants to go to the 4-day community or 4-day school week, sorry. Because again, for the matter of the reasons that people brought up and presented to you guys, it's just a no-go, you know, and again, it's for the children's safety, the children's education. If we're gonna go based on a survey, again, 102 people versus a petition, it's gonna be significant more. I mean, we can start in churches, the community, barbershops, most of the businesses here in town will be willing to sign, I guarantee will be willing to sign that petition versus a survey.
Thank you.
I mean, yeah, thank
I
you.
appreciate that.
President Marcus, if I can just make some other comments.
Yes.
You know, I've been working calendars for 15 years and, you know, it's always, you know, just like we were talking about the realignment of the districts, you're always going to have people that are happy and those that are upset. It's never, you know, there's never like an in between. But from my perspective and the perspective of, you know, superintendent looking over the district, there are many factors that have to be in consideration. When you're talking about the operations of a district, all of those operational pieces have to be taken into consideration. If you're going to change it, then there better be a plan on how you're going to change the operations on things. You mentioned the bus drivers, you know, and I know somebody said something about hold harmless. However, you pointed out already, Mr. Marcus, that a 4-day week will result in a decrease in transportation funding because you're not traveling as many miles. We get funded with ridership and also mileage. And so to hold people harmless and pay people more for working less as far as monetarily in the budget, it just doesn't, it's not good practice. But there's so many other things that we've got to consider, you know, what about, you know, will everybody be on the 4-day? Will there some people be on the 5-day? Kuka, you had mentioned, you know, would teachers come in half a day on Friday? There's so many different models and so many different considerations. Like somebody brought up to me the other day, you know, what about the health center, the student health center? Are they going to operate on a 4-day or on a 5-day if we go to a 4-day? Because we know that they're only open when school is in session. So I can't speak for Ben Archer, but I'm assuming that they would probably shut down on the day that we're not in school. There's many different factors, like I said, that it's not just that easy to say, okay, well, this is what I want, or this is what I think, or this is what, there's so many other things that we've got to consider, the budget, and how does that impact the budget? How does it impact, not just the the families and the working families, but also the operations of the district. And I can't even think of all the different things, but I know that everything needs to be touched if you're going to change things. And that does require time.
And once again, going back to the why, is it for teacher retention? Is it the district running out of money? We have to shut all the buildings down for a day, one day out of the week. I'm not sure our students are doing so poorly. I don't know the why. So that's something that we need that I really need before I could even make a decision like that. So
We'll save money on utilities, that's for sure.
everything would have to be closed.
Yeah, you can't.
You can't,
Gotta
because there's
leave,
still-
you gotta leave the
There's
electricity on.
No practice, no games, or nobody going in there.
That means no sports,
Everything closed.
to shut it down.
No feeding kids on Fridays, no special.
Nothing, absolutely
Yeah,
nothing. We can't do
but we
that.
don't need to do it. So I just want to know. But anyways, I think we spent long enough on there, so. And we haven't come up to any resolution, so I don't know about even that. Before a survey goes out, if it's our decision, I want to see that survey and make sure that. And if
Is there any surveys out there?
Had the one, which we had 102 community responses. We had 100 staff responses. We had 50 student responses. So.
And the community was sent with the students, or where did they get those?
All the surveys are online, and we send it out we send it to the principals, ask them to put it out as best they can. People can click on it. It was on the school's Facebook page. And then the results come in, and that's how we do it. There is interest in a 4-day week. That's what I can tell you with 100% sincerity. All those questions, that we won't know the answer to those questions until we're in it. Like, no one can tell us definitively, good or bad, what will happen. But there are things that we would have to be planned for, and we'd have to face. And I mean, I think.
And how many parents sent, how many?
102.
102, how many students do we have in our district? And I know we have
1,000.
siblings, but we have
We
siblings.
only sent that out to sixth grade and above.
Oh.
Like, it's
And
hard
each
to ask
school-
a
yeah, and I
kindergarten
don't mind
kid,
if it's,
first grade, second grade, like.
no, their parents, I don't even believe asking students. No, we're the adults here, and I have a hard time asking students what they want. It's the community and the
I just
faculty and
think,
staff and
really
the
what,
adults.
to
No, I
move forward,
understand.
Mr. Marcus, really the question is, will you guys consider it or not? That way we can develop those.
I think you would have to have a town hall meeting
Mm-hmm.
stating that you're gonna have a survey so that the people know. Because if you get a grandma that's raising that kid and grandma does not know how to get on the phone, how is she gonna fill out that survey?
I agree. And we tried to hold 2 open forums where we're here, like we said, so. I mean, I'm at a loss for, I mean, you're right. I love the idea of going out into the community more.
But I
But then
would
how much
like-
do you
I
go and
guess
then
what
where?
would help us or help me is I would like to have faculty and staff, if they'd be willing, how is that gonna improve student learning and the why? Just help me understand the why.
Okay.
That would really help me.
I can ask that question. We can get that question out to the staff and see what we get from them.
Or even come up and talk to us.
Okay.
Or if we have a community or outside of the board, I don't know, a community meeting where staff come and explain the why.
But we need to make sure that we get somebody from every department
Oh,
and
yeah.
not just,
Yeah,
that you get the bus drivers, you get the, you get the sped teachers, you get everybody involved and not just a group.
Just to let everybody know, yes, we will consider it, of course. It's a valid request.
Thank
We
you.
will.
That gives us a good direction to start pushing. So appreciate that.
now I would consider, but this year, to me, it just seems that we're rushing it and I don't like to make decisions like that. I don't know about that. personally, this year, to me, it's kind of late in the game to be getting all that information and looking at it, and for me to look at it and understand it, and it's late.
Yeah, it'll take some time.
I don't know. That's a good discussion. I guess
Hopefully
we'll
we'll get something by the end of the school year. Results.
So we didn't say we're gonna make a decision or anything, so we had a discussion, and so. But I guess, item number 5, items for future meetings. We're gonna put that 4-day week again. Calendar. But,
No, I wouldn't put it on for next month.
no,
Not if he's still gonna do a survey,
okay, no.
right? I mean,
Oh, good.
Get an answer of, I mean, you guys gonna put it off? I mean, can we get an answer of, I mean, by
Well-
when or what? Can we get a decision of it being denied or approved?
Mr. Montenegro, I honestly believe that probably won't happen this year.
We're pretty late in the game, like Mr.
yeah,
Marcus
two
said.
into the end of the school year now, so.
And I
But
know
it'll
we
give
can't-
us a chance to study it, make recommendations, that kind of stuff. We'll look at it.
Okay,
But I highly doubt it'll come before the end of the school year.
so maybe possibly your school year 27, 28.
Probably 26, 27, we'll get.
2030,
Yeah.
2035?
town hall meeting, if there's a town
No,
hall
I'm
meeting,
not being, but I'm just,
State it.
yeah, like it.
go to the town.
And I
hall
know we
meetings.
can't make a decision because it's not an action item, but I think like, I know where my opinion stands right now. And to go along with it, it's very late, and to make a decision, I would have a hard time to make a decision that I don't feel comfortable making. I don't know what's broken. That's what I
Right.
need to figure out. What's broke? What's broken that needs fixing?
Well, it ain't broke.
Well, that's what I'm trying to understand.
Mr. Montenegro, you have every right
To start
to, we'll do a survey. You can do the
petition.
petition.
If you want to start your,
Yeah.
yeah.
But see, again, the thing is, if I go and do a petition and they get the survey,
Yeah, that.
we know that 102 people, and mostly, like you said, was staff and students that signed the survey. Again, ask the parents, why are we asking students about the school week? They're gonna say yay, like Ms. Garay
No, I
said,
agree.
you know, if the kids don't want to go to school, they're gonna choose not to go to school.
No, I agree.
So basically, I mean, I say we can start getting a petition. If we're to get a petition, present it to you guys, will it get approved or denied based on the petition, or we're gonna have to wait for the survey?
I don't think we won't have as much information to act on anything that significant. I'm just giving you my personal opinion. It does take time.
Well,
Make changes.
members of the board, do we need to put it as an action item, and either we do a fight, that way the community knows, and we vote. If we have to have a special.
And
session
again, like,
next 2
it's
weeks,
like,
then-
Mr. Sanchez said, it was on Facebook. Most of the parents here are agricultural workers. They're worried about working, making the money,
I know.
making ends meet. They don't have Facebook. These elderly ladies don't have Facebook to get onto the Facebook webpage and say, okay, sign the survey. So I think the petition will be the best way to start.
So we can, for the regular, the next board meeting, Mr. Miz, if you can put a vote on a 4-day week. And as board members, we get up here and we vote, and that way the community knows. I don't personally, I don't need surveys and all that because it's getting late in the game.
Yes.
And maybe we can look at that in the future, but I just rather let's vote, and that way parents and community know what's going on.
It gives us more
As a
peace of
board,
mind.
then
more insurance.
since we do have that decision, we're able to make that decision. I just rather not have it string along and parents thinking, are we gonna do it, not do it? That just, when's the next board meeting? On March 11th.
March 11th. So March 11th, you guys will have an answer for us, yay
Yes.
or nay?
Thank you, yes.
Thank you,
we'll have
Mr.
an
Marcus.
answer.
Thank you.
Sí.
Están viendo la ironía en este caso. Están pidiendo presupuesto para un autobús, pero estás pidiendo quitarle un día de trabajo a ese bus driver, en primer lugar. En segunda, yo tengo contrato con las escuelas como maestro, supuestamente. Me quitas un día de trabajo, yo encantado, sigo teniendo mi sueldo. Pero ¿y los niños? ¿Qué va a hacer de ellos? ¿quién los va a educar? ¿En lo que tú estás en la oficina o en tu casa cobrando por no dar la clase? Contéstenme ustedes, qué ironía estar pidiendo presupuesto para un camión, para computadoras y quererle quitar clases a los niños. Es increíble que la señora acepte que estamos equivocados, pero ustedes tres, caballeros, no sean capaces de votar. No. Y quieran una encuesta que todos los años nos la mandan y jamás vemos el resultado de esa encuesta. ¿Cómo considera el señor Sánchez preguntarle a los alumnos si legalmente hasta los 18 es mi responsabilidad? Hay IPs, clases, gifted, special eds, es mi decisión si él estudia o no. Y de ejemplo, ahí lo tienen. Lo tengo en virtual. Porque ustedes como escuela no hicieron nada en la middle school. Lo tengo en virtual. Y tengo otros 3 en este momento considerando mandarlos en virtual. Si ustedes cortan a 4 días, porque no tiene caso pagarle a alguien por hacer un trabajo que no va a hacer. Mejor que lo cobre otra persona que sí le va a dar la clase. Si de todos modos mi esposa o yo los vamos a educar en casa. ¿Qué caso tiene, comité? Que estés planteando una encuesta que no tiene sentido. ¿O ustedes, comunidad, están de acuerdo? ¿No era más fácil preguntarle a la comunidad así que estar planeando una encuesta? No tiene sentido esta reunión. Si ustedes están en contra, pero no lo aceptan. Con el debido que me merecen.
Right. Gracias. Okay, so next board meeting vote, it'll be an action item for the 4-day school week. And also the awards, Ms. Ramirez. The board member awards, I believe. Any other items for?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Mrs. Zamora. I hear your students did well at the Science Olympiad, I'm not mistaken. Could you invite them? Could you invite them next board
For
meeting?
next board.
Thank you.
Did you get that, Ms. Ramirez? Okay.
We were supposed to have evaluations on this meeting, so we need it for next month. We also need the reassignment committees. We're supposed to be scheduled for this month. Again, they were not on the agenda.
The audit.
Oh, and the audit.
The audit.
Yes, hopefully.
And we need to have an executive session as well for next.
Okay. Okay, any other items? Okay, item 6, next regular board meeting will be Wednesday, March 11th, 2026 at 6 p.m. at the SSTC building right here. Okay. Okay. Item 7, adjournment. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by member Garay, seconded by Secretary Montes. I will take a voice vote. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed say no. Motion